The next tab that you would like to look at is the console tab. So this tab is very important in figuring out if you have any JavaScript or page load errors. So this is one page that you would like to visit the most if you see things not working properly on your website. So here you see there are a lot of errors that are being shown. Be careful with this because it keeps accumulating the errors and you will see a large list of errors that has come off, not necessarily from the loading of this page. It might result in the loading of earlier versions of the page in this window also. So it's always better to clear the console and start off fresh. So let us start off fresh. We see as we are going over this element an error is coming. So this gives an hint that there is something wrong in the event listener for this element. So let us do another clear console just to be sure that the page load doesn't have any errors. So we are doing a page load and we see that there are no errors. Now let us do a preview, and this also doesn't produce any errors. So we know that any default event listener for the page is not causing any error. But when we go over this area, we see that a problem is coming. So that gives a hint where the problem might lie. So this is how you can debug your events or even the page load. So by default it shows all the errors and warnings. You can also filter them out to see only the warnings or logs or errors. So this is another tab where you will be spending a lot of time. Let us look at another tab. This is the network tab, which actually gives you an idea of what elements are being loaded on the browser. So let us go up. We see that the first element to be loaded is this ipi.learn.php page. So after this is loaded, the other stuff gets loaded, and it also gives you a nice idea of how much connection time was there, how much waiting time was there, and how much time it took for receiving the page. Similarly, all elements that have loaded will give you those characteristics. So this gives a very good idea of how your performance is with relation to page loads. So you can actually see bottlenecks which is taking time to load. We see that xml.js has taken some time, but most of the time was taken by the blocking part. Other elements were being loaded and then only this would be loaded. So we can go through the list to look at what time each of the things are taking to load. If you have very big images, then they will also come up and show you that they're taking a long time to load. So this is one place where you would like to come at the fag end of your testing when you want to improve performance of your web page loading. So now we have gone through the major portions of your debugging. We'll recap them once again. First is the elements, where you can go through all the DOM elements and analyze them in detail together with their style attributes. You can change them to see how they work, get a preview, and then only after testing it out you can put it in your file. The next is the console, where you will go and see if there are any errors and rectify them. The third is the network, where you will go and look at the load times and try to improve the performance of your page load. So this concludes our tutorial on basic debugging using inspect element in Chrome.